As the fifth oldest port in the state and the first in eastern Washington, this year marks the Port of Kennewick's 110th anniversary. The port is a fiscally sound organization, recently receiving its 29th consecutive clean audit from the Washington State Auditor's Office. Our three-member Board of Commissioners governs the port's efforts throughout our 485-square-mile district. The port team is focused on revitalizing Kennewick's historic waterfront district, transparent urban planning, and constructing a regional town center. At Clover Island, we are expanding business and recreational opportunities at this destination waterfront. The port finalized a long-term ground lease with new hotel owners, enabling the group to make property improvements designed to secure a Spark by Hilton. We also purchased a professional stage to help the hotel expand its Clover Island concert series, now in its 20th year, attracting visitors and tourism spending to Kennewick's historic waterfront district. The port used grant funds to maintain and repair the island grounds, the artwork, and other public amenities. The port and our partners were honored with the Governor's Smart Communities Smart Partnership Award for our 15-year effort to restore and revitalize Clover Island. Now, 4 shovel-ready waterfront parcels on the Columbia River are just waiting for private sector investment. Truly, those lots have the best view in town. At the nearby Columbia Gardens Wine and Artisan Village, the port welcomed Nana's Kitchen to the food truck plaza. We also celebrated the grand opening of Swampy's Barbecue. The port sold them land so they can expand their business into a brick-and-mortar building after thriving at the food truck plaza. Construction of that restaurant has inspired other developers to inquire about the remaining shovel-ready parcels for sale on that waterfront. The variety of food vendors and tasting rooms offer award-winning wines and popular meal options. At Vista Field, the port is creating a pedestrian-focused regional town center featuring mixed-use neighborhoods and urban lifestyle amenities. Lots are being marketed for commercial, retail, and residential development, and those proceeds will help fund future infrastructure until the 103-acre site is complete. Nearly 40% of the parcels in Phase 1 have been sold. Kuki Izakaya, a Japanese restaurant, was the first to break ground last November, with plans to open by year-end. Blueberry Bridal is preparing to build a 40,000-square-foot wedding boutique. The Akula Group plans to construct a 5-story mixed-use building with retail space, apartments, and condominiums. Columbia Point Eye Care is preparing to break ground on a 7,000-square-foot medical office and optical shop with 1,500 square feet of retail tenant space. And lots were sold to Blue Chart Homes to build single-family residences in Phase 1, with Blue Chart committing to eventually build 300 homes throughout Vista Field. Several other significant private sector development proposals are advancing through the collaborative design process. During strategic planning for Vista Field, the community expressed a strong desire for gathering spaces. So using a Benton County grant, the port is renovating 2 former hangar buildings into open-air pavilions with a small stage and courtyard space to host community events. We're also planning parking and utility improvements on Azure Drive. The work will be funded by Port Capital Funds, a $1 million grant from Benton County, and another $325,000 grant from the Hanford Area Economic Fund. At full build-out of the 103 acres, Vista Field is expected to generate more than $500 million in private sector investment, with more than 1,000 residential units and 740,000 square feet of commercial space. In all we do, Port of Kennewick remains mindful that we are stewards of the public's trust as we maintain and market facilities, provide fiscally sound leadership, and drive economic development throughout our large and diverse district to ensure the highest benefit to taxpayers. The Port of Kennewick. We're working for you.